So where are we going?
We're headed to the scene of the crime.
Sweet mother of God. Hey, Mr. Oliver, what is that?
That? I made the other inmates paint. Looks just like me, doesn't it? Well, except I had them give me a little more hair.
An inmate putting up a billboard of himself on a prison wall?
The target is in sight.
Myself into.
We have around 15 victims at minimum. Most of them were in the first floor lobby when the blast went off.
How many suspects are we looking at?
Only one that we...
Mark Zuckerberg, like, if you look at all the big tech companies, the social media companies, all Zionists Jews.
Yeah, to your point about media, my impression being over there was the media was much more on the side of like kind of the Houthis than it should have been. I don't want to get like
No,
I
that's
don't want
fine.
to monopolize your time here either.
No, it's fine. We can go next person, but no, I mean, like I said before, I think I see your arguments with Iran and everything else like that, but I think Israel is a significantly worse state than Iran is. Now, with that said, I want to be clear. I don't love Iran. I don't care about the IRGC. I'm actually pissed off that I have to constantly like tell the truth about these guys and put them in a more favorable light. But the reality is that we don't get told the truth when it comes to Western media in America, and a lot of people are not aware of this stuff. And I think if more Americans understood, hey, this is the truth when it comes to the Iran-Israel conflict and what's been going on, and understanding foreign policy, they would realize like, oh crap, what are we doing supporting these guys? These dudes literally are doing all kinds of crap, right? We give them aid, they do genocides, they get diplomatic cover, and they get a significant amount of benefit from us while dragging us into, foreign conflicts like right now with Iran. And we can't even come to a peace deal because Netanyahu literally bombed Lebanon the day after Trump said, we're in the middle of a deal, so close. What do? Kill like 1,000 people the next fucking day. That's what the Israelis do, they sabotage.
I appreciate you out here sharing your views, man.
No problem, man, thank you. Good discussion, higher IQ discussion, unlike the other retarded. The cock. What's up?
So, all right, hey, I was observing you for like 30 years. I'm here to talk about, basically the black community, and how and basically just identify who you are and just identify your real message. So, the first question is, do you find it easy in your eyes that white people in America has to compete for things they want?
Do I find it uneasy that white people have to compete for things?
Yeah, like when it comes to competition, super competition, they gotta look at a black man at eye level to compete for something. Do you find that kind of uneasy? Just in general, in everything.
I think everyone has to compete, and I think that's good.
Okay. I mean, from observing to you, it just like looking at your streams and stuff like that. It just seems like you just find it like unwell for people to like compete against another person of color. I'll go to the next thing.
No, I'm for open competition. I think we should operate on a meritocracy, not to fill DEI quotas.
Okay. To keep it real, do you think civil rights was a mistake? If so, how?
No, I don't think it was a mistake. I think obviously giving everybody the equality of opportunity was important, but now we've gotten to a point now where it's equality of outcome, and that's the problem.
Okay, and so within your talks, Kick YouTube, I believe, yeah. So how can you be so passionate about claiming black people are the bottom of the barrel and has low IQ, but sit there and
In this video, I'll give you the clip
Here's introductions live. Game. You've got control of your health. Now get control of your allergies with Zyrtec Vitamin Round.
Now we've gotten to a point now where it's equality of outcome, and that's the problem.
Okay, and so within your talks, Kick, YouTube, I believe,
Yeah.
So how can you be so passionate about claiming black people are the bottom of the barrel as low IQ, but sit there and surround yourself with practically its entire teams with blacks from learning the aspects of real estate to standing up for himself and to making constant content and bringing up ideas? Like, for example, Marquette Davis and Brandon Carter, Tristan and Andrew Tate, stuff like that.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I acknowledge individual skill sets, right? I'm black myself, but when I say things, I'm talking about it generally, and it tends to be like, and it's interesting because like black people and Jews are the people that get the most offended. If I say something critical of black people,
all right, I know a good learning aspect for people to learn. So with Jews, right, the first Jews are black. Okay, when you look in the Bible, the scripture, and shit like that, okay, everybody on there is niggas. So you gotta keep in mind, just with the times, when they start explaining about Jews, you gotta identify the person first. So Caucasian Jews.
okay, that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Besides that, because when you talk about Jews and shit like that, they think of white first. That's not how it is. They gotta think of totality of what Jews is. And it's also a it's fact. It's not an ethnicity.
It actually isn't an ethnicity.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's a reason why there's Jews that are Muslim. There's a reason why there's Jews that are Christian. There's a reason why there's Jews that are atheists, etc. They're an ethno-religion by far. Yes, that's
just because you classify them as a different being, they're still white at the end of the day. I think
no, they're not white, and that's quite literally that's. See, this is the thing with the black community. A lot of times, you guys will complain about like systemic racism or white supremacy, or whatever. A lot of the times, the people that you guys are pissed off at that are oppressing you.
This shit. This is UCLA. This is the
Anyway,
yeah.
So a lot of the people that you'll be like pissed off at or say that are oppressing you, whatever, really a lot of times end up being Jews. It's just that they look like they're white because they're maybe you're talking about anything. You can say that. You can say that. But they're Jewish. There's a reason why they'll sit there and like you. Why do you think Ashkenazi Jews who look white are some of the biggest opponents of white nationalists or white identitarians, etc.? It's because they don't identify as white. Now they'll identify as white when it benefits them. But there's a reason why someone like Ben Shapiro, when he's asked, "Are you white?" He doesn't know what to say because they don't identify as white. Realistically, they identify as Jewish. Okay. Now, with that said, and that's a big part of their right of return. So they absolutely have an identity that you can do a whole. It's a religion, and this is practice. Let's go back to what we were originally discussing. You were saying that I said something about I am critical of the black community, despite the fact that I have black people that work with me, and that there's other white people that are intelligent. Great.
You use your ideology like real estate. Standing up for yourself. And shit like that, and then you kind of, turn it against people of color. I don't go there.
What do you mean by that? I turn it by that.
No, like you sit there, you preach about making money, stuff like that. But you're really trying to turn that into the white audience. You really don't really preach about how to uplift the black community. That's why.
Oh, really? It's actually quite the contrary. I get black people calling into my show all the time. One guy literally today, hey, I want to get into real estate. You know what I told him? You buy 5 houses, you buy real estate, you get passive income, you take that passive income, and then you use that to pay off your liability. I tell people all the time, don't do the nigga shit. Don't buy the Jordans. Don't buy the fancy clothing. Don't buy the designer. Don't spend money on fine dining. I tell them all the time that none of this is smart planning. You let me finish my point.
Yeah, Davis sometimes you talk all that fight.
You didn't teach me anything. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying.
Hey, that's what he said on.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. You didn't teach me anything.
Even doing this practice right now,
you didn't teach me anything. You didn't teach me anything. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. So I actually tell guys all the time, reject materialism, focus on buying real estate, invest, save your money, don't be an idiot, and live way below your means. That's what I tell guys all the time. I told people that literally on a call-in show the other day. Now, when it comes to the whole race thing, whatever, see, this is the issue that I have. If I'm critical of the black community and I say things like, hey, stop being a nigga, stop buying Jordan, stop buying You know, stop drinking alcohol, stop getting Hennessy, stop buying Timberland, stop doing all this stuff. Shit, finish that what I'm saying. Okay, you know, and stop hanging out with idiots. Stop being a moron. I mean, don't commit crimes, whatever. Whenever I say these things, they say, "Oh, you're racist. Oh, you're a bigot. Oh, you're an Uncle Tom. Oh, you're a cool blah blah." And that's fine. You can say what you want to say. I think I'm giving some sound advice and trying to keep black men from doing dumb shit and not having a victim mindset like you have right now. Because when I criticize any groups of people, see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is the black fatigue right now. You can't even let me finish it. This is the black fatigue right now. Black fatigue, right? This is no. It's going. You're trying to explain what I'm trying to say. You're constantly interrupting. Right? I'm explaining and giving you my real position, and this is what I was trying to say before. When I criticize other groups of people, they don't cry and complain as much as the black community and the Jewish community. They cry so much, call me a racist, call me an anti-Semite, but you guys can never call me a liar, which is the point. As long as you can, until you can call me a liar, quite frankly, I don't care about your opinion or what you think. You call me a coon or an anti-Semite or Uncle Tom, I'm just keeping it real. I want black guys to not be criminals, not be idiots. Hey, I check materialism. I want to invest. Look, man, black fatigue is very. Okay, look, what's your definition of black fatigue? Go ahead. This right now. Okay. This right now. We're all fucking tired of you, bro. We're all fucking tired of you. See, that's what I'm talking like. See, let me just look, let me keep it real with you, okay? Because you're talking about some book from before. I'm talking about the real good sense right now. Black fatigue now, see, really means like the black fatigue now is where we can't be honest about criticisms of the black community, because if you do say anything about blacks, it's immediately met with you're a racist, you're a bigot, you need to lose your job, get out of here. This is why people are tired around being around blacks. We don't want to look around y'all niggas. You guys are annoying. You guys are fucking loud, obnoxious. Can't even let us finish our sentences like what you're saying before. Bringing up a whole bunch of irrelevant shit as I'm explaining what I'm talking about. You mischaracterize my position. You don't think of the black community. Really? I talked to so many young black men and told them, yo, don't do this. Don't do that. Do not fall for this temptation here. Save your money. No materialism. Don't buy the fucking designer. It's stupid. It's not going to help. Do not lease that car. Do not do that shit. Save your money. Invest in real estate. But of course, you're going to look at, you hate black people. Actually, no. I just told them what they need to versus what they wanted.
All right, so the definition of black fatigue. All right, black fatigue is a repeated variations of stress that results in extreme exhaustion and cause mental, physical, and spiritual maladies that are passed down from generation to generation. That's on page 11. All right, that bullshit that he put out was just off the emotional shit. You don't want to live around blacks, that's on you. Nobody wants to live around blacks, bro. Nobody wants to. Who gives a fuck? I want blacks to live amongst each other. That's the whole point. So the thing is, don't push that. What I said. No one wants to live around blacks because of this. That doesn't affect us at all. That's a them problem. And also on page 11, they also repeat what I said. Nobody wants to live around blacks, bro. Like it is what it is. Like, well, I want to be around them out here trying to get that validation. And you're using like it's the whole point. There's certain terms that like have a textbook definition, and there's certain that have like more colloquial like modern definitions. And the black fatigue is a relatively new thing that's come over the past several years, where people are tired of having to bite their tongues or not say what they want to say about black people because they're scared of losing their job, or being called a racist or whatever. They'll be attacked. It's attacked every day. You've been attacked every day. I'm saying it's in the history. I would argue you as a black man has more advantages than white people. Oh, of course. Yeah. Like for example, I still say no. They can't look at it. If I take your skill set and I take white skill set, you guys have identical skill sets, right? Is it identical to you guys, whatever? You're not gonna like me gonna get hired. I've been doing this shit after they have an environment. They have what happened to meritocracy from before? What happened to equality? What happened to equality? What happened to meritocracy before? See, this is the problem. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like the whole, like you're over here researching shit, you can't even like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to pull close with people that it's really just nobody that no one thinks to themselves, oh, let me look up this like obscure book from like back in the 1970s about black fatigue. Well, when we talk about black fatigue, it's about like George Floyd. It's about the riots all across these blue cities where they're fucking lighting cities on fire because some dude overdosed on fentanyl, right? He didn't overdose on fentanyl. So hold on. So you think George Floyd was like a martyr? No, he was just a citizen. I was just trying to get something to eat or whatever the fuck and died for no reason. It was no hero, and that's the problem. You guys are trying to put him as a hero to try to demonize.
Demonize?
Yeah, demonize. My fault.
Okay, let me go through the fact pattern with you because you really don't know who George Floyd was. George Floyd was a multi-time convicted felon criminal. And that was apprehended that day. No, let's go through the facts.
That's just a regular scene.
No, let's go through the facts because you guys never like to talk about the facts. This is what transpired on that day. On that day, he went into a convenience store, passed a fake note. That's a federal crime investigated by the Secret Service. So then on top of that, and then they called the police on him. Okay, let me finish what I'm saying. After that, they called the police on him. He goes ahead and conducts a drug transaction. Another felon, with a drug dealer right there. Police come, pull him out. As he's about to get pulled out, what does he do? He swallows some fentanyl because he doesn't want to get arrested again for drug possession. As he's there, and Chauvin has his knee on his back, on his knee on his back. A technique that was taught by the Minneapolis Police Department. Okay, again, it was on his back. It was a technique taught by the Minneapolis Police Department, okay? He was taught that technique, okay? That was brought up by his defense. Also, he did not get a fair trial. Anyone that has half a brain that watched that trial knows that it was not a fair trial. How do I know this? Because they had a BLM activist on the jury. That's absolutely ridiculous.
What's the problem with that?
They said it was easy to send money back to something else for everything. Jews don't run the world. Freemasons don't run the world. It's much darker than that. If you know their name, their organization.
What the? I'm trying to explain. Like,
Okay, do you understand the process of like and having an impartial jury? Do you understand how a BLM protester would not be an impartial juror? Okay, bro, we can't have a conversation. But if you don't understand that, then there's nothing to talk about. That explains everything else.
I'm trying to know who you are. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, I think they're agreeing with me at this point. You can't see what's going on behind you when the fatigue is high because you don't even understand the fact that having a juror on a jury for a case that has national recognition that's extremely racially charged is a problem and is going to violate his rights of getting a fair trial.
Like, what? All right, so
He should get a shot. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. He should get a fucking pardon. He did not get. And the other thing too, he had what, double or triple the lethal dose of fentanyl in his bloodstream. The reason why he was prosecuted so hard is because he was a black man and it was a white police officer. In America, we have a thing now where, with like Chuck the Miller, for example, white person gets involved with a black person. You don't want to deal with cities going on fire and what went down with Minneapolis before the BLM protest. We're just going to make the arrest.
I mean,
Oh, really?
my opinion, though, with the system that's in play, I think he should be released to get the hands of the people. I mean, at the end of the day,
Okay, what makes them guilty in your eyes? Take me out of the family. Okay, take me one. What makes them guilty?
makes him guilty.
Yep.
It's, shit. It's all shit. It's all his like. I'm getting fucking sidetracked. But like, bottom line is that he's gonna go to jail for what 30 to 60 years.
Okay, on what facts?
What facts?
Yeah.
He shot a. I said this on my talks as well.
Well, why did you shoot him? Like, what? Can you tell me what happened on that day?
Well, first of all, I'll slow myself down. He shot an individual. He shot a disabled citizen. He felt the fact, and the fact that you even like put out the facts and justify that he's supposed to be out of jail and stuff like that. He shot a disabled citizen. Not only that, he was a veteran. Why did you shoot him? To fucking.
Oh, you don't even know.
No, I do know. I mean,
Okay, tell me.
I mean, that's the problem. He shot him for no reason. He tried to gain clout. Shit like that.
Okay, he shot him for no reason and to get caught.
Basically, that's basically what his content betrays. So, he's not put.
Yeah, this is why the average black IQ is 85. Congratulations. Anyway. See, like, bro, thank you for proving all the stereotypes correctly, bro. And I'm one of the only people that have the balls to say this shit when it comes to niggas, bro. Y'all niggas are stupid. Let's go to the next person. Bro's over here trying to debate and argue, furiously looking through AI, still getting his ass whooped. It's embarrassing. Intellectually. And yo, like, again, all the smart black people know that I'm correct, right? We don't want guys like that representing us. But unfortunately, this is the problem, right? Like, this is what stereotypes, people adhere to the stereotypes. I'm trying to fight it off, right? I'm trying to not make us look like fucking idiots. But this is what the general public thinks about us. A bunch of victimhood, a bunch of stupidity, and we can't be held accountable for anything. Oh my God, white people are oppressing us and everything else like that. I would argue as a minority, in America, you have more advantage than the white person, you know? Like you take a white person compared to a minority, like a white male especially, more than likely they're gonna hire the minority or the female. It is what it is, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, I want to talk politics, but I had a couple of quick questions first, so hopefully I can get to those and then we'll get to the discussion. Really quick, have you read that copy of Mein Kampf that you bring around with you, or is that just like performative?
I read through it.
You read through it? Okay, no. Wait, you read through it or you read it? There's a difference.
I read through it. I focused on a certain the chapter on Jewish supremacy and the Jewish question.
So you haven't read anything about Lebensraum? Have you read anything about the Aryan race? What about that?
I'm not familiar with that as well as arguments, but it's not really what I.
What chapter is the chapter where he talks about the Aryan race?
I didn't realize that there's different types of.
Yeah, but there's only one different version of the Aryan race. If all you do, look at that. If all you do, everything in each chapter.
Focus. See, and I love it too because you bring up your phone and you're like using AI to ask stupid ass fucking.
It's not AI, you dumb motherfucker. You just look up the book. Here. I was here for like an hour.
Yeah, you don't have to look it up like it. The point I'm trying to make here is I focus on something you focus on these arguments. Here's another thing too. Hitler draws very much from Henry Ford and World Germany. It's just actually national show. Where's my show? Where's my show? I'm talking about this. I've watched and shut the fuck up. What you talking about? Like you're in here. It's I told you specifically. I told you specifically. I specifically told you what I focused on when I read it, and then I told you where that comes from because I read International Jew from Henry Ford, and that's why I think they drew the stuff. So that's why that specifically I'm explaining to you, and your dumbass wants to sit here and going, all that context matters. So what's your actual discussion that you want to have? Because I can tell you're like bag of haters. It's gonna like go into like random shit. Let me go ahead and talk about this. Charge. Carrying around the line performing the same way a 10-year-old carries around a skateboard. You can't use. And this book to have fun with. Okay, sure. I don't care. No, that's okay. It's funny. Because I think it's funny. You're gonna stop about it. And then let's talk about the Wire Reserve West too. That one up too. You can do all the this isn't bothering me. I really don't give a shit. It's just funny that you're gonna carry around Mein Kampf performative. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing, right? To pretend to be a Nazi to be cool is kind of like embarrassing a little bit. Yeah, embarrassing to you because you're a progressive faggot. So yeah, like like that's why. It's like, and this is the thing. Like, bro, you call me a faggot all you. You said more than I said. You said thing. You're the ones cheated on you. She never did. That's why. She cheated on you. It's a wonder skater. I doesn't realize you were broke. She hasn't go. You don't. We were for months before that. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. And then on top of that, you're coming in here like again. You don't watch the show. You don't know what my content is. You're coming. This guy's a copy of my call. Let me ask him about that. And then I explain to you exactly why I have it. And this part of the book that I focused on reading. And then I talked about Henry Ford and I talked about all that. So all that shit. Oh, let me just ask you about this shit. What do you actually want to say? What do you want to actually say? Because I know how much it's the same as it's the same as game liberals have a shelf full of books that they've never read to see sport. Like kids. Okay, now that's why I put my bookshelf down. Once I actually got to college, I was like, hey, you know what's gay? Having a bunch of books I haven't read. What's your actual argument? So my actual argument I can talk about was are you finally ready to admit that Kamala Harris easily would have been a better president than Donald Trump?
Open a term checking account in 2 minutes. This buy you up to $200.
Thank you. Yeah, now everything makes sense. Yeah, I'm hearing that fat alcoholic idiot yelling over here. It's kind of funny. It's like he comes in, he says the duff. He goes first and like, yeah, this guy's a faggot. So anyway, so you need to flex to talk about you masturbating. You do realize that Kamala Harris wrote about me in her book that I was a big part of the reason why she won the election, right? I really don't give a fuck. Kamala, the argument is do your research. You really didn't do your research. The argument is that speaking as you understand, that's the argument. Not whether you were instrumental in her loss. Don't give a shit about that. I'm saying Kamala would have been better because Donald Trump is dog shit right now, right? Sure. So your argument is you think that she would have been better? Yeah, my argument is basically that Donald Trump is like the floor for what a president can possibly be, and anything would be better from that point. Okay, well,
I don't want a female president, so no, thank you. That's number one.
Is that your thing?
We gotta keep women.
As respect as Donald Trump have right now, that Netanyahu is dragging him around by like a child.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Is that not the type of respect that you want from like?
See, here's the thing. I'm not a MAGA retard. If Trump does dumb shit, call it out. I don't like the war with Iran. I don't like the foreign policy. I think he's owned by the Jews. That pisses me off, and I don't like that. Hence why I'm very familiar with the JQ and every board and all those other shit which you've been trying to call out before. So I don't like that. Now, with that said, there's no fucking way I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris. She actually talked about in her book how me and Andrew Tate kept her from winning because she lost the young man a long time ago, as did the Democratic Party. Because let's be honest, the Democratic Party and the left in general is filled with soy boy faggots like you that are super politically correct that will sit there and be like, "You got a copy of Mein Kampf. Let me go ahead and shame you for like reading about somebody." Meanwhile, idiots like you walk around with a copy of like fucking the Red Book from Mao, who killed way same amount of people, if not more. There's a lot of you guys.
I don't support communism. I don't know why you're doing this weird gay fucking turn. So like,
Well, no, because you're hesitating.
it's the same reason that you want liberals who are performing feminists. He's fucking gay when you're like doing this feminist shit. You're not actually you're the same thing. You're the same thing where you're like a fake Nazi. We're just like, listen to my voice. Like me with my mom. You haven't read my mom. So that's fine. Just say you haven't read it.
No. I've read what's pertinent based on what I care about. So you haven't explained that to me. And I love
you did the smart notes of my mom.
And I told you this. I read that because I read the International Jew from Henry Ford, and that's why I said, let me see what Hitler has to say about this.
That's fine. I don't set the international Jew on stage with you. You should not you read the international Jew. Have that on stage. Well, there's a bunch of mountains on. So where you're like, it's not really a book. Doing Nazi stolen valor. See, if you were smart, you would know it was not really a book. It was like a bunch of pamphlets that were produced right out of Dearborn, Michigan. So it's not really a book. But you know what? Just for you. Well, no, I'm glad International Jew next time because you're that much of a fucking retard. Because you're here to just do ad hoc, so we can play this game too, faggot. So what's your actual thing? We need to go because you guys love to call people Nazis or whatever, or like you're a right winger, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just call you a Nazi or whatever. You know what? I don't call you a stupid faggot. That's the part. That's what you guys are. It's funny. You're not facts. You're such a fucking. Hold on, back to what I was gonna say. Pretend to be a Nazi. Kamala Harris is better off in a kitchen than at the White House. Okay. In a kitchen, then the White House. We will never have a female president. I will never fucking elect a female president. Women don't mean anything except to the end of a relationship for us to do. So no thank you. And you can go ahead and have a Christmas with Donald Trump. Sure, no problem. But there's no fucking way we're going to put Kamala Harris into office. And I'm happy that she wrote about me in my book, that we kept around. Me and Andrew Tate. So if I heard yourself and then like a book that you wrote about, or a book she wrote, I don't know. She wrote it. The point is this. We're losing massively in our trade war against China, right? Not only is like Donald Trump being led around like a little fucking child by Israel, but also by China. He has to go bow to Xi Jinping in his own fucking place and get nothing for it, right? Got nothing for that kind of trade?
Well, he had a plan and it failed. That's the detail.
Just making sure we got nothing from that. So you agree with that? He failed on his plan.
Yes.
Not only that, he got outplayed in the soybean deal, right? When he sent $20 billion to Argentina instead of our farmers, right? He sent that to Argentina, and then China bought nothing from us. He got outplayed there too, right?
Okay, buddy. Do you not realize that I've been talking about? You need to watch my show before you come in here and talk. Because it's about all this shit.
He get outplayed on that soybean deal.
I have talked about Trump losing the trade war and being an idiot about this.
About these.
How about this? You're making arguments that I literally make myself. You don't see easy to say as usual.
Got outplayed on that soybean deal, right?
No, because you're gonna literally go through and try to make it like
the list of his failures. Yes, is he a failure of president? Yes. I'm sorry that that's hard for you, but the guy that you backed is a fucking failure. He's a loser. He's a retard. He's fucking old and dying in office.
Better than Kamala Harris. Better than Kamala Harris.
He's not.
Better than Kamala Harris.
Kamala was
We probably wouldn't be still. Yes.